When black folks don't embrace what folks are trying to do and fend that off, that upsets me, because I am somebody that's trying to set a path for future folks on the come up from my community to be in this position one day.
Now facing a lawsuit in Miami from his ex, accusing him of battery, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and emotional distress. I mean, this does not look good. And he's had previous with his partner. Hands on women, I just can't agree with. It's just terrible. And it's so bad for boxing when a fighter is being accused of putting, I mean, that's my personal opinion on.
As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th are possibilities, right? And here are the potential opponents: Nate Diaz or Francis Ngannou.
Stephen A. Smith strongly criticized Gervonta Davis, saying Davis has damaged his own career through reckless behavior and poor decisions outside the ring. Smith said that talent means nothing without discipline and respect for the sport. With Davis's future now uncertain, Jake Paul will face a different opponent instead. Paul is expected to fight someone who matches his weight, style, and market level, so the event can continue as planned.
Jake Paul.
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
Inside Ring Show posted an official update on X, reporting that Gervonta Davis is expected to be removed from the November 14th Netflix exhibition against Jake Paul. The event may be moved to December, while a new opponent is found. According to sources who spoke to Ring's Mike Coppinger, December 12th and December 19th are the dates being considered. Sources also said Andre Ward was contacted about availability, and names like Nate Diaz and Francis Ngannou are being explored. This update has sparked huge speculation about Jake Paul's next opponent. The Wade podcast analyst explained that Jake's team is focused on financial safety and public image. They believe the lawsuit against Davis could seriously hurt pay-per-view numbers because many viewers may avoid supporting a fighter facing major allegations, even though boxing often thrives on drama. The analyst said legal controversies like this can push audiences away, especially when the fight was meant to gain mainstream attention through Netflix's global reach.
Jake takes these fights very, very seriously. And I just thought, okay, Jake takes these fights very, very seriously. And I just thought, okay, this is gonna get a little more interesting than I previously thought. I thought it would be a bit of a mismatch, a bit of a, boxing experience to Gervonta Davis, Jake bringing the size and power, and we're gonna get one of these stalemates where no one wants to take a real risk and both guys are gonna get paid. Turns out no guy may get paid, or Gervonta Davis might be kicked off the card because we have a new, not champion, a new domestic violence abuse allegation against Gervonta Davis. There's been a lot of allegations against Tank, and some of those have been dropped, and others have not really been pursued, and you don't really know what's what behind the scenes with people, but when things like this happen over and over, I think this is his fourth or maybe fifth allegation of domestic abuse, you kind of start to have to look at the person that's being accused of such and go, why do you keep ending up in these situations? And the way it's described, we've even seen Tank do some of the things already on camera. But let's get into this thing, and then we'll just go right into the report from Chris Mannix here. Shout out Mannix. Obviously, you guys know him as a commentator with DAZN, covers boxing, covers basketball as well for SI. Chris Mannix on Twitter says, Netflix and reps for Jake Paul have been exploring potential replacements for Gervonta Davis. Sources familiar with the situation told SI Now. Paul Davis, scheduled for November 14th, is in limbo after new allegations of domestic violence against Gervonta Davis. I was in the car. I didn't know if this was real, but I had seen a report, and this came out, I think on October, it came out a couple days ago, but it was from October 27th, and there was a civil suit over domestic allegations just 2 weeks ahead of this fight. This is from Andreas Hale, our guy over at ESPN.com. He essentially wrote the article on it and went into details. So let's take a read. Gervonta Tank Davis has once again found himself in legal trouble just 2 weeks before his exhibition fight. And yes, it was going to be an exhibition. I know it was billed as a exhibition with, you know, a winner and loser, but let's be honest about it. Two guys, massively different weights, massively different experience. It was gonna be an exhibition. On November 14th, a new civil lawsuit filed in Miami-Dade County has put the WBA lightweight champion in hot water over a...
Ring Magazine insider Mike Coppinger posted that Jake Paul's fight could be moved to December because the November 14th event is now in jeopardy due to the allegations against Davis. He said December 12th and 19th are possible dates. And Chris Mannix reported that Garcia and Terrence Crawford were both approached. Carl Froch also criticized the situation, calling the original Jake Paul versus Davis fight a circus focused more on entertainment than true competition. Froch said Jake should never have taken the fight because there was nothing to prove. Now that Davis is facing legal trouble, Froch argued it's time to pick a real replacement. He believes the event can still survive if Jake chooses a credible opponent. Froch added that boxing often sacrifices sportsmanship for drama and situations. Like this show how easily that strategy can fail.
Till proven guilty, they say, right? Regardless of how many times he's been accused of this type of stuff, allegedly or not, it's still innocent until proven guilty. Now, if I have a contract with you, this doesn't involve you. You know, I understand you got a brand and public relations, all this type of stuff, but technically, this doesn't involve you. So you pulled my $200 Jake Paul contract. What if I'm innocent over here? You know who I'm coming after? I'm coming after you. I want my fucking money, or I want some compensation. But these big companies, they be having stipulations and little clauses in their contracts that give them the ability to cancel contracts for all different types of... I used to have those in our